Cats, what's happening? Yeah, it's snowing today, and snow is expected throughout the rest of the day. In fact, there's a weather advisory. Right now, 25 degrees, and that's the high for today. But temps are expected to drop down to 9 degrees. That's pretty cold. So today, I thought I'd talk about heating my garage and how that's working out for me. First of all, though, I must say that my last video was titled "Why I Don't Like Cops." Seemed to stir up the pot quite a bit, and I guess that was my intention, just to clear a few things up. I'm not throwing all police officers, all law enforcement into the same basket. Those were my personal stories that I've experienced, and unfortunately a lot of my experiences were sour ones, so that's my story. I have some other very interesting stories referring to police officers that I will share on some future videos here. But for now, just for the record, you know, not all cops are bad cops. There are some good ones, and that do their jobs very well, and they're very much appreciated, and police are a necessary force in our communities today. Enough said on that. Let me talk about my heaters. I bought this heater up here from Home Depot, and it is a radiant heater. So that thing, although it doesn't really have a fan, it doesn't blow heat, but it radiates heat down. So on the surfaces, you'll feel the surfaces getting warm from that radiant heat. It's just kind of like sunlight coming down, you know, when sun hits things, it warms it up. Now, on that same note, when the sun is shining, these three garage doors here are dark brown on the outside. Obviously, they're white on the inside, but outside they are brown. And the dark brown sucks in the heat. So when the sun's shining, I can come over here, I can put my hand on these doors, and they're warm to the touch. And that generates a lot of heat in here, and it warms it up quick. But today, as you can see, it is cloudy gray out, and the snow's coming down. Therefore, there's no heat coming in here except what I'm generating. Now, as you can see also, this garage is totally uninsulated. And up along the eaves there are vents. You can actually see some light coming through those vents up there. So there's always this air circulation in here, which is going to make it very hard to heat. I would have to insulate all these walls and pretty much put stud framing up, put insulation in, and then put sheetrock up. Including up here, the whole ceiling would have to be covered with sheetrock to keep the heat down here. Now, what I could do on a temporary basis would be to put like a plastic or a tarp. I could hang a tarp up here, just cordon off this shop area, and it would probably heat efficiently. But trying to heat this whole space down to the other end, like I said, 25 degrees right now, it's not going to happen. And with the temps going down to 9 degrees, that's not going to happen. I also bought this Dynaglow. It's a propane heater. And it is like a jet heater. So the flames come out the end here, and it produces up to 60,000 BTUs. Which again isn't quite enough to heat the garage on a day like today. I could take the chill off in here if I let it run for maybe an hour, but it runs off of this 20-pound propane tank, and I think it'll only run for maybe 7-8 hours off of that tank. So every hour that I run it in here, that only leaves me a couple more days of heat, and then I'm gonna have to get that tank refilled again. So pretty much have come to the realization that in order for it to be comfortable to work out here right now, the temperature is going to have to be probably in the 40s. I'll show you how this little thing works. The first thing I got to do is to plug it in here. So when I plug it in, it'll come on. There's no on and off switch. You hear it start up. Then I have to come over here and turn on the propane. Propane's on. And there's a knob here. I can push it in. Turn it on to ignite. That ignites the burner. So I should have some flame in there right now. I gotta let it run for a minute or two before I can crank the heat up. Once it's warmed up a little bit, I can turn the dial up. Yep. See, it's not quite ready yet. If I try to turn it up too soon, it'll shut itself off. That's on full blast. So from where I'm standing right here, and I can come back, probably 8 feet away from it or so, and I can still feel the heat coming off of that thing. So it pumps out a lot of heat for that little tiny unit. I suspect it burns a lot of propane too. I'm not going to leave it on because I don't plan on hanging out here. We got to head out of here today. So, no shop work for me. Pretty easy to shut off. Just turn it back down again, push it in, hit the off, come back over here, turn off the propane. And unplug it. So, yeah, I would say it's not exactly user-friendly in that degree, because where I have it down on the floor, maybe I could set it up here or something, and it would be easier for me to operate. That might work too. But then again, it limits the use of my saw in my workbench area where I've been working on projects. So I'm gonna have to figure something out where I don't have to get down on the floor. You see the knob is almost down on the floor, so that makes it hard to get to. But as far as putting out heat, it does a pretty good job. Now they do make some bigger ones, and the cost goes up quite a bit. I think this one was like right around $100. So, you know, very affordable for a propane jet heater. But from there it went up 200 and plus. And then you have to get a bigger propane tank. You have to get like a 50-pound tank. Those are more expensive. Of course, you got the big expensive buying one right off the start. And then the bigger heaters use a lot more propane. And even with a larger tank, they're going to go through a gallon of propane in no time. I think, I don't know if it would even be worth it. The other thing about these propane jet heaters is they do put out some carbon monoxide. In a garage like this, it's well ventilated. there's not much of a problem. But if you were to put that in a living space where, say if we put it in the house where it's completely enclosed and airtight, it could cause some serious issues as far as carbon monoxide poisoning. Well, that's all I got for out here in the garage. I'm going to head back in the house. You guys have been asking a lot about where V is, and she hasn't been in my last couple videos. I think we'll go in the house and see where she is and see if we can find her. There she is. Hey, gorgeous.
Hey, is that on? Hi, beautiful people.
It's nice and cozy in here.
Yes.
Got the wood burner going over here.
Oh, there's Apollo. The elusive Apollo.
Oh, the little kitty behind the wood burner. Apollo. He's a feral. He's very frightened of people. You're on the video there, little buddy. Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh.
This guy's another feral.
Well, he's semi. He lived outside for 5 years, but now he's my best buddy.
Decided to finally put the Christmas tree up. The little Harley snowman, the little Harley reindeer, and Harley Santa on his motorcycle. They're all ready to go for Christmas Day. Where are we heading today?
Oh, to the doctor. Where else do we go?
And we have to go all the way to Warrensville Heights, which is up in the Cleveland area, so we got a little bit of a drive. And with weather advisories today, we thought we'd leave a little bit early because it's all highway driving. And you never know what the roads are going to be like. But for now, the looks like the snow is starting to slow down. And I looked at radar, and it looks like it might clear up this afternoon. So I think we'll be in good shape. Thankfully, the weather didn't turn as sour as they said it was going to be with whiteout conditions, at least so far. So our trip shouldn't be too bad. And we're also thankful that we have this onboard navigation system, because we just type in where we need to go, the address, and boop, it shows us exactly where we need to go. Makes it way easier than trying to have my navigator follow a map.
I know, in the good old days, I was your navigator.
Yeah, she always carried the map and led the way for me. So thank God for some of this new technology.